Well, howdy. This is Jorge Prospector, joined by our good friend Prospector Ron. And this is episode 91, inching closer to our 100th episode. We got to do something special for our 100th episode.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have another road trip.
Maybe. So we are fresh off our PCB Prospect Chase Box community live outing. For Ron, it was live outings, plural. I joined the group at Oracle Park. What a week of baseball it was. Ron, tell us a little bit about tell us your travel stories.
I'll just kind of get down to it. So Saturday night, I was at a Padres game here in San Diego. Unfortunately, they were still part of their losing streak, but got to see the Padres against the Seattle Mariners. Julio was great there with the kids. I'd posted a few things about him with the kids signing. He was great with the kids on the side, even though he's not having the stellar year, although he has had 2 home runs in this 3-game series they're in right now. But, he was over on the side with the kids, signing autographs, making sure to grab the kids' stuff, not all the men's shoving books over the top trying to get him signed. So it was great to see him interacting with the fans there.
Yeah.
Sunday, I hit the road and drove partway up, and then Monday I was in Sacramento to see an A's game with our friend Carlos. So Los and I hit a hobby shop up there, saw a lot of overpriced product, as expected. Grabbed a couple things to rip at the stadium, went over into the stadium. I had a couple fat packs there that we ripped for some live stadium rips. Had a great time at the game. It was an A's Angels game, so it was nice. Although without Mike Trout there, you're always hoping to see the superstars. But it was good. It was an interesting game because of that. Sutter Health Park is the minor league stadium for the Sacramento River Cats.
Is it a boombox?
It's not bad. It wasn't bad, but you're trying to shove people in there.
How many homers? A few homers in a low-scoring game, or high?
There were a couple homers. It was a 4-3 game, I believe, in the end. So it was a tight game. It was a well-played game. Got to see a lot of folks for the A's who I hadn't seen before, and got to see the Angels again, which I've seen a couple of times.
You got to see Shohei?
Yeah, no Shohei.
Wrong year.
You know what? There were some interesting players with the A's, some talent in their lineup. Yeah. And I'm excited for them. I think they have a good future if they ever get out of Sacramento. Sacramento's not the place for them. They moved there thinking they would draw all the folks, but most of the folks I see driving around wearing hats and things in that area, Giants fans. And that's pretty common when the last winning team, World Series winning team, was the Giants. You're going to have lots of Giants fans. People who were kids when the Giants were winning are Giants fans today. So, so it's one of those things that shifts. When the A's were winning World Series, everybody was an A's fan at that time. So things change. So spent the night there, had a great time at the game. Got to experience with the locals see there. It's a fun little park. It's a great family atmosphere. There's this huge grassy section out in the outfield for people to sit and watch a game from. People take their families out there, throw out some blankets. There's a playground right behind it, so your kids can have a lot of fun while you're watching the game. Good game. We didn't get close to a foul ball at all, even though we were right behind home plate. It was interesting. Interesting to see how few got hit to that section.
Okay.
So, then on Tuesday, we took off for San Francisco. Got myself over there, and the prospector hooked us up with some pregame passes for batting practice. So it was an easy peasy thing. Walked up to the stadium, found where the windows were. Great staff. They were very friendly people handling the logistics for us at the game. Got me my passes back in, met up with Carlos, and I went in first and got down on the field while Prospector was stuck in traffic, unfortunately, but who eventually got there. But we were able to catch both San Francisco Giants and the Kansas City Royals batting practices. Unfortunately, no Bobby out there during that time, but Helio Ramos was there, and Carlos had pulled a 1-of-1 card the day before out of his pack. Helio Ramos from his Tops Now. So he took it to the stadium with us. We got to meet with Helio. He signed it for us, took some video. We posted it out online and got some pictures out there as well. Absolute great time before the game. We were joined by Jay as well as the prospector. And I'll tell you what, we got there, found our seats, walked out, got some food, sat around a table there, and had great fun and conversation. I have to say that's one of the best things about these meetups is not the game, but it's the camaraderie and friendship and the sharing of the common experience that we have in the hobby. That's one of the biggest things I see every day. Whether it's the random acts of kindness from person to person within this group, everybody's always sending somebody something at some point. Right. To actually getting in person and meeting folks and just having great conversation. We sat out there way too long, had a lot of fun sitting out there having hobby conversations. So
it was a good day too. The weather was amazing. Rocking shorts, just t-shirts. I just had a vest on that I put on when we got to our actual seats.
Yeah.
But the weather was really, really good.
Now for San Francisco, it did its normal thing and got cold. So
yeah, it got cold.
For me,
not crazy cold, but it's good.
For me,
for a Bay Area game, that was really nice.
Yeah. When you see me putting on a hoodie like I wore that day, it was a little bit cold. I'm the kind of guy that rocks the t-shirt and shorts 364.
For a Southern California guy, it gets cool at night for sure. I'm already used to it.
Yeah.
And this is weird. People look at me weird. I'm from the Caribbean, and I'm so warm-blooded that I'm in t-shirts even at 50 degrees. It's crazy. I have no way of explaining it. But that was a lot of fun. Hanging out with Jay, with Ron and Carlos. We hit BP. BP was funny because we saw some players, but then there were a bunch of I call them buddy doubles, like Bobby Witt, which last time we went and saw him last year, he took BP too. He actually took BP, took pictures with us, signed a few things. This time around, they sent the buddy double. Drew Waters was actually rocking the Bobby Witt
haircut.
What did you call that? The
kind of a mullety looking thing.
Kind of mullety looking. And he confused a few people because he's sitting right behind the cage watching BP, and he looks from the back. He looks exactly like Bobby Witt. And so that was a funny okey doke. And then not too many players came out, at least on the Royals side. Sasquatch, Vinny P took BP,
yep.
But at that point we were just kind of already kind of ready to go get some food. Food was pretty good. I mean,
we got their signature seafood sandwich out there in the outfield. It was great, and it was great that Jay had a pass.
Oh yeah, Jay hooked it up with the multi-plan or whatever, multi-package senior, what's it called, season pass something, hook up. Especially, food at Oracle Park is probably the most expensive park. I've been to 15 or 16 parks, and probably the most expensive park. It's Oracle Park.
Well, one analogy I can share with you about that is that you buy a souvenir cup at San Diego. At Petco Park, they have their machines set up so you can walk up and refill them yourselves. So you get your drink refill.
Not happening.
Oakland, free refills as well. You get to San Francisco, they say, nope, here's another glass, no refill, pay me money. So and I mean, that's a product that probably costs them 7-8 cents worth of product.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, it's crazy. Citi Field in New York, it's somewhat expensive, not as much as as Oracle Park, but the food is really good at Citi Field. Also, a very family friendly environment. Probably my top, but the park itself. I don't know if had you been to Oracle Park before? You never had.
That was my first time inside.
You gotta admit, the park itself is pretty nice.
It is really nice. It's very well laid out, and there's a couple of things I like about the fact that you've got that continuous flow where you can get through and around the park very quick. When you go to Petco, you're having to zigzag a couple of times. It has some odd stairwells and things to get you here and there, but overall great experience at each of the parks. We really enjoyed even the minor league park. There was in the section we sat, the very top row of the section was tables for 4. So you could have 4 people sitting around a table there having dinner and drinks, etc. It was a really interesting kind of thing. I told Carlos next time we're going to need to do something like that, get those seats. But good time. Good time
and a good pilot for what we want to do going forward. Hopefully we grow it so that we eventually need to get like a suite or something at a stadium and have ourselves a jolly old time. Yeah. But it was a good pilot. I loved it.
And the prospector flexing his connections for us, getting us the batting practice passes.
That was great. Good. Yeah, the prospector always try to hook it up for our group, so that should be no problem. But we need to plan it. Hopefully, my only regret, and I knew it as it was happening, was not documenting it a little bit more. I mean, we took some pictures, which is cool. We posted them on some of the groups, but I kind of wanted to grab more live content. Granted, my phone I need to upgrade my phone. It's a 14 Pro Max, but like, I don't know what it is. I have so little, I guess I have little kids, so my storage gets quickly, but I may have so much redundancy here and so many, I have no memory almost, and I pay for like something. So I don't know what's happening, but so recording stuff with my phone is always tricky because I never know when I'm like, mid recording, like, oh, you're out of battery, you lost everything, or you're out of memory or storage, you're lost, the video cannot be recorded and you lost it. But live stuff, I should have gone live. Whatever, next time we'll do more stuff and document it live or for posting later. But that was fun, and stay tuned because we're definitely going to try to do it again.
And we did do stadium rips while we're sitting out in the outfield there. We grabbed a couple of boxes. We
did. Our hits were legendary.
Yeah, we got the Chris Young, the general manager.
We got a GM auto. Texas. That tells you what you need to know. So, and it was probably the best auto.
He had a clean signature. So it's one where he was a former Padre. The reason Bochy coaches there is because of Chris Young. They had a relationship earlier on in his career, so it was funny to see that being the auto hit in the box. But away we go. Great time. Looking forward to more of them. Next time we'll probably have to do it in conjunction with a big card show somewhere in the area. Would be a great way to attack it. Find a big card show maybe in LA or maybe we do a meetup at a national type thing or in Dallas at some point and do games surrounding one of those. That would be a great experience for all of us. But we'll see when we get there. And if we're going to Dallas, I'm definitely not driving that time.
Yeah, I think one of the lessons learned for Ron is like, man, we gotta use some miles. We gotta fly more places. I hate driving, so I'm on board. So that was fun. We'll do it again. Stay tuned. Now switching over to baseball hobby and product releases and what's happening. It's still a pretty dry, scene right now. 25 Series 2. It's in pre-order, and as we had, told people, it was gonna be a flop. It's still out there, not sold out.
It's still available on the top side, which tells you something in the pre-order status. They've got both hobby boxes and hobby cases still available there.
And that's with Series 2 always being printed considerably less than Series 1.
Yep.
So that tells you a lot. They, in all honesty, though, it's on them. Like they knew they know what they're doing. They only included, as far as I can tell, I haven't done a deep dive on the rookie class, but I know enough to be dangerous, I guess, is like people say. I know Roki's there, and I know that Jason Joby is there. Listen, good prospects, probably A minus, barely A level prospects, but both pitchers. You left out Cam Smith in Houston. You left out Matt Shaw, I think. You left out other position players. So that's gonna the only thing it's got going for themselves, and I've told you this before, Ron, is that you get more blacks. But then I haven't done that research again of like where the blacks are at. Is it only hobby, or can you also find them in retail? I think you can find them in retail.
I thought we pulled it up and it was only in the hobby.
Only hobby. So there you go. Because there are, if you didn't see our last episode, what Topps is doing, because they realized they made a mistake in discontinuing the black parallels in Series 1 of this year. They're going to put them in Series 2. So for at least the black parallels, you're going to find cards from Series 1 in there as well.
This black parallel, just so everybody realizes, this is the paper black parallel that is a slash whatever year Topps is. So, you had a /70 for the 70th year. 73, I think, was last year. Or
something like that. 74, 75, something like that. The reason that matters, and it matters, and it's significant, because if it wasn't significant, Topps wouldn't have gone back on its decision. So they got a lot of flack. If you don't know, black parallels have a very strong hobby community and following, people that build sets, that do runs of players since whenever that black parallel was instituted, which I think was 2005, 2003, something like that. So it's a very, very important paper parallel in the hobby that's chased by a lot of people. So Topps knew that it effed up and decided to put all of them in Series 2. So with that, you would in hobby, you would think, if it's only a hobby parallel, then you would think you would get a lot more blacks. And Series 1, we all know that 25 rookie class in general should be, in comparison to recent rookie class that has spoiled us, it's pretty weak. Other than Cruz and Woods, there's not much there, but it's something. It's better than Series 2. I think they're trying to put as many prospects as they can on update. That would be my call, to try to sell that like they've done in recent years. But it's been well documented that me, at least maybe Ron too, but I'm not a big fan of 25 product in any of its configurations. I'm stocking up as I can personally on 24 rookie class and 24 products. I'm also trying to get 22 products as much as I can, and 2018, but those are hard to come by and significantly more expensive. So 24 product will have to do. And let me tell you, it's, from what I see, it's drying up a bit, and people know that it's drying up a little bit. So they're asking more than you would think for 24 products, especially update. So Series 1 and Series 2 is a little whack. But update, shoot, it's so crazy good. The prospects in there, the A level prospects, are so good. The weakest link at this point had always been Jackson Holiday, and even he has been performing way better recently. He's getting regular ABs now. They slot him down at the 2 spot now, so he's getting a lot more ABs. He's actually playing right now in a doubleheader. And so he was the weakest Jackson of them all, and he's now performing pretty good. Yeah. So that, and Paul Skeens, Jared Jones, who just went down for Tommy John. That's unfortunate. He's down for the count, out for the year. Way weird of the Pirates organization to know. I think they knew about 2 months ago that he had something, and they did not immediately just do the surgery. They waited until I think this week. That is crazy. But there you go, Pirates. That's Pirates in a nutshell for you.
Yes, it is.
What else? We've got Bowman still holding on strong because it's a pretty good class of position players, and it's selling well. 25 Bowman Sapphire. Yeah, there you go. Oh, you finally got it? Wait, that's blasters?
Yeah, these are the blasters. They finally came.
I think Ron's gonna rip a box of that here very soon. Did you finally get the jumbos in the mail? Not yet.
No.
Okay. Man, when are those coming? That's weird.
They should be coming soon, I hope.
Yeah. So quick plug. The Prospect Chase box is doing together with Tops After Dark is holding a live guaranteed pack rip and ship event with 25 Bowman Jumbo and 24 update 24 Heritage High number.
I apologize. The Jumbos did come in. Looking at my shelf here. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll do that. The event is about halfway filled. We're trying to get more people to sign up. Instead of doing a regular buy your own team or random teams break, we're doing a rip and ship where everyone gets a guaranteed pack of the jumbo and 2 packs of the hobby Heritage High number, which all those guys we just mentioned.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that. And then, Bowman and Sapphire should be coming along here very soon, right before the National, I think. And National is in July, and you always get Chrome around the time of the National. Again, I'm not really looking forward to Chrome. I might buy a few blasters to see if I run into a parallel Cruz or Wood.
There's nothing out there that makes you jump at it. There's nothing out there that really says this is a definitive product. 2024 update, absolutely definitive product. Something you wanted to grab this year. Not so much.
Dynamic Duels was released yesterday, and it's sold out. But we all know the formula. We all know what's happening. Breakers are buying it up, and people buy it, and they love their sticker autos.
Yes, they do.
So, not gonna comment much on it, other than the product looks decent, but it's worth a ton. And it's being bought up because breakers are buying it, and you are buying spots and hopefully landing some nonsense picture auto, sticker auto with another sticker auto next to it. So I don't think it deserves any more talk, any more conversation. What else?
One thing, in the real world of baseball, you take a look at the fact that, here you've got the standings this way. We're now about a third of the way through the season.
How are we doing?
Dodgers, as expected, are leading their division, followed by the Giants, who nobody expected. Padres can't swing a bat. You look at the NL Central, the Cubs. I was big on the Cubs.
Yeah.
Other people weren't as big, but they're handling their business very well. The surprise to me right now, Phillies are leading in the standings over the Mets right now.
They've played no one as of recently, but yes.
Yep, but they're leading right now. So there's still a lot of interdivision games to go. There's still a lot of divisional games.
So the Phillies, let me tell you a little bit of because we will be in this back and forth all year round. We thought it was with Atlanta, but apparently it's going to be with Phillies. I think the Phillies will eventually drop, but that's my own feeling. They played. These are the teams they played in their last 20 games. Tampa Bay, Cleveland. They played 2 games against the Cardinals. Then they played Pittsburgh for 3 and Colorado for 4.
Yeah.
So
now the only good team in there is Cleveland. Cleveland's been doing fairly well this year, surprisingly. Still holding up.
They caught them in a bad spot. They played them about a week and a half ago.
Yep.
And then and they still have to play the A's this month, and then Atlanta. Yeah. So Philly's gonna win some games. We need to take care of business. The Mets. We're hosting the Dodgers in what's gonna be should be a very fun weekend a series. We start today. I think does it go through Monday? Yeah, no, it goes. It's only a weekend series. But a repeat of last year's NLCS.
Yep.
There's some drama there. Probably the Mets want to see where they stack up against them. So it should be fun. It starts today with Clayton, which I don't think has much in the tank.
No. In his last outing, he was, he got out there. Maybe he'll be better this outing. But
Clayton is rocking an 11.25 ERA at the moment. Yeah. And they're facing a revelation pitcher of the National League, Griffin Canning, with a 5-1 record, a sub 2.5 ERA, and a WHIP, and a really strong K to walk ratio. So, looking at some early candidates, unexpected candidates for the All-Star game. You would think Griffin Canning beats the Dodgers today, 6-1. It's looking pretty good if you can keep it up. Another guy who is looking ASG headed, our boy you just mentioned, Heliot Ramos. He is killing it. He started really slow.
Yeah.
Funny story to go back on that again is me and Carlos saw the Giants about a month ago. They were playing the Rangers. We did the same thing. We hooked it up with a BP pass. We got to say hello quickly to Heliot, and he signed a ball or some cards, and he posted. He took a picture with Carlos' daughters. It was great. I spoke to him for a little bit in Spanish. We spoke for about a minute, whatever, right after BP. And he was batting $190. He wasn't batting his weight at the time we spoke to him, and ever since, he's like killing it. He's batting like 400 last month or something like that. Now got numbers that look All-Star game headed, and so I told Carlos, we should tell him when we meet him, when we actually meet him a couple of days ago, that we were responsible for his. More like his daughters are responsible for his sudden
taking him off on his streak.
So it's this story that keeps on giving. So I don't know if I copied you yesterday, but I told Carlos and I messaged the group about it. Randomly doing some YouTube research, I see that, and now it kind of makes sense because that day that we were there for the Rangers game, I did see that some of the video people were like talking with Heliot or interviewing him or something, or miking him up, whatever. Apparently that day they were filming mic'd up Heliot Ramos day, and so
his pre-game routine, what he does from the locker
dugout, at the clubhouse, whatever.
Yep.
And lo and behold, I'm like, when I'm seeing that interview, because I'm in conversations with their videographer, a person, and so I wanted to see what they had done recently, and I see Heliot Ramos a day off or mic'd up, whatever, and I'm like, wait, okay, let me check this out. And 2 minutes in, I'm like, this day sounds awfully close to something I remember. And I keep looking, and I see the BP crowd. I'm like, I remember that person. And then I keep looking 10 seconds later, and I see Carlos and his daughters. And I'm like, where am I? I was sitting down, grabbing taking a little like Energizer bunny break with my bad knees. I'm like, what the fuck am I? Where the heck am I? And I did not see myself, but I did. Carlos and his daughters got a good 7 seconds of airtime. So that was funny to see that it's a gift that keeps on giving.
You never know with the prospect or where you're going to end up. That's the kind of spontaneous publicity that makes you someone.
Yeah, so that was funny. The next day was the day that Heliot Ramos walked it off with that dive into home plate. That was funny. So that's what was on the Tops Now card. Yeah. And then Carlos, like you said, Carlos hitting that one of one so randomly. It was all meant to be, right? It was all meant to be.
Yep. All good karma coming around. Touching on the AL real quick, the Mariners being in first place is a big surprise.
Hold on. Hey, go back to the NL real quick. So, what's your biggest? You said Phillies. That was your biggest surprise of the Phillies.
No. My biggest surprise was the Giants sitting where they're sitting right now. That was my biggest surprise in the.
I agree. I agree. I think they have no business being 8 games over 500. Just because they don't bat that. I mean, they got pieces, but they don't have a prolific offense.
Well, when we saw him the other day, Birdsong was the pitcher. He threw a great game. Here's this young guy who we don't really know much about.
I picked him up in fantasy last year, so I knew a little bit about him. He's good.
Had a heck of a game.
You know what it is though, and it's funny because every time that the Giants are sneaky good, this is the type of team they have. Is that they have solid pitching, if underrated, pitching, and they're really good at situational hitting and hitting with men on base.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they're the team that always finds a way to hit that double when they need to, bring him in, move the runners. That's how they do it. If you look at their lineup, I bet that there's no one with an OPS more than 850. No one. I'm actually going to look at it right now.
Yeah.
Giants roster. Actually, they don't show the actual numbers. They don't. I don't think so. Wait, yeah, they do. So OPS. There's one person with an OPS over 800. Guess who it is?
Ramos,
862.
And you looked at Framber, for a while was leading the league in homers. He's cooled down.
Check out these OPS numbers. Remember, OPS, I think league average is like 770, 780, something like that, 775. No one is even league average. Maybe Fitzgerald, randomly. That's it. Wilmer, with all that he does.
Yeah.
A lot of ribbies, a lot of ribeyes, a lot of ribeye steaks, but that's just situational hitting. He's hitting 257 and slugging 440. OPS 763, below league average.
Yeah.
Cost, I don't know who that guy is. Chapman, who I have in fantasy, decent, but 750. Hitting 217, probably not his weight. Lee, he's been a revelation. He's been playing good, but even then, not great. Actually, he's a leader in OPS. 7. No way, he's not. He's second. Yeah. Anyways, point is they have pieces. They're good at hitting with run on base, men on base, and that's all they do. But is this sustainable? What do you think, Ron?
With the National League West, there's a lot of divisional games coming up. That's going to be the real show. It's those divisional games. See what happens there.
Arizona only 2 games over 500. I think they have a better team than that.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see, man. San Diego has to get over this hump quick.
They started off the year situational hitting like we talked about. They were really consistent. Boom. They took advantage of mistakes. All of a sudden, they can't get themselves out of the box. Beginning of the year, they were going 10, 12 pitches deep on an at-bat. Now it's one pitch.
One and done.
Yeah, one pitch
and
done.
Let's talk to me. Tell me about the NL.
Well, the AL. On the AL, we're looking at the Mariners leading their division, which was kind of a surprise to us. They're ahead 2.5 games over the Astros right now. Rangers are behind that. Angels have been coming on strong. They've won 7 in a row. Kind of surprising for a team. Taylor Ward had his second grand slam in a week.
You know what's funny? I picked him up in fantasy. I've had him before. I had him last year, I think. So I know the type of player he can be. He's very streaky. So I picked him up this year from the waiver wire. Give me a few good games, but not really that great. Dropped him, and this is the beginning of the year. And I picked him up like 2 weeks ago, and now he's killing it.
He absolutely is. So they've been doing something special there. I'm not sure how long or how sustainable it is, but they're actually looking good. You look at the AL Central, you've got the Guardians were started out of the gate on fire. They've cooled down a little, and Tigers are now in the lead on that particular division. At one point, the Guardians had led the league in wins. They had the most wins of anyone in the league, but they've definitely cooled down. but Detroit taking over the top spot there is a surprise, with the Twins and Royals trailing just by a game or 2 games. Kansas City actually has more wins than Cleveland, but they have more losses as well. So that put them down. So they're all kind of 5 games behind those other teams, behind the Tigers. How did the Tigers get to be 5 games up? Yeah, I don't know when that switch happened. And then in the AL East, Yankees are on top. Okay, I can buy that. But what's surprising is the Blue Jays in second.
That is surprising. And the Orioles being last. That is crazy.
Orioles being last is a huge thing. But again, they didn't sign any pitching to go along with all this young talent.
I thought their hitting would carry them, though.
Me too, but it certainly has.
Or at least be in it, somehow. Now, to be 16-32, I would never expect that. Like, their season's done. I don't see how, like, even if you go back to the mean, regression to the mean, as they say, even if like playing 700 ball, that puts you at barely above 500. That's not going to cut it. You can't fall in this league. You cannot, especially on stacked divisions, you cannot like fall like
two. Can't stumble at all. Here's the telling thing. They have one more win this season than the White Sox do.
Crazy.
Absolutely nuts. But that's kind of a quick roundup of the league. Looking forward to a full schedule in baseball today. A couple teams on Apple TV. People are going to cuss and whine about that again. Who knows how long that continues. Hated the announcing on Apple TV last week when the project
was terrible.
It's horrible, but looking forward to a full schedule of games today. Stuff's probably going to be.
Who's on Apple today? Mets and Dodgers, and who else?
I forgot what the other game was, but yeah, there's 2 games out there today. I think it was Cleveland.
Okay, it's tricky. Last time, because I did have Apple sometime, but I don't have it anymore. Apple TV. I think last game was Apple TV. I somehow was able to watch it through my MLB TV subscription. I don't know. Weird.
It's on. There's also the everybody looks for something. Every day MLB has a free game of the day. So if you don't have a subscription to MLB, you can go on their site and find the free game of the day and watch that game streaming. I use the MLB app, the audio portion of it, to listen to the games coming up and down when I was driving. So I was able to listen to some baseball while I was driving via my Bluetooth connection in the car. So that's always
good.
Nice to hear of it.
Are we? Do you want to rip a little product, or you want to end it here? It's up to you.
Well, I think we've run long enough today. We'll save this for the next time.
We'll save it. Stay tuned. Hopefully, by the time we record our next one, man, there's some development product-wise that we can talk about. There's no update on Topps Chrome Platinum, TCPA. No new update. We're still. If you want to see what the last update, go back. What the last update is, go back to our episode 90, our 90th last week's episode, where we talk a little bit about what we found is going on, and you'll find it there. But that is all for now. Have a great Friday
and
enjoy
great
baseball.
3-day weekend this weekend. So take advantage of it.
This is Memorial Day, right?
Family.
No, next.
Taking a game if you can.
Memorial Day on Monday. So happy Memorial Day. Who knows? The PCB may throw out there a Memorial Day weekend special sale to fill these events that we've got going on. So
free hot dog with every purchase.
Free batting practice.
And one last thing on stadium tours, when you get the chance to do them, ask around folks, hey, what's the special thing to eat at this stadium? So there's always something different that you can have out there. Carlos pointed us in the direction of these sandwiches. Mine was great. I know the prospector wasn't looking for something like that got the burger, but there's some great food to be had out there. There's some really expensive food to be had out there. Yeah. Come to San Diego, have a $45 lobster taco or whatever the heck it is,
I have a street taco instead.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Again, Ron, thanks for your time. Catch you on the next one. Jorge Prospector out.